Welcome, everyone, to episode 3 of the Carolina Bleeds podcast. I'm Coley,
I'm Mason.
and this is a special episode. We have our very first official scheduled out guest. I want to welcome Mr. Wade Bowers from the Black River Rebels.
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
They just y'all
now.
just released an album like what, like 2 weeks ago?
Actually, it's this
week,
past
right?
weekend, I believe. Yeah.
Devil May Try.
It's fucking rad. I was listening to it when I was driving to Columbia
Thank you.
the other day. Like it's really fucking cool.
we put a lot into this one. It's a concept
yeah,
album. I wrote this insane story for it, so it's all one story. It's all over the place, but it all connects at the end and stuff. But
Hell yeah, dude. Shit, let's get right into talking about the album. What was some of your like inspiration for the theme of the album?
So the theme is pretty much like H.P. Lovecraft meets Homer kind of writing style. Like I wrote this whole story. The Necronomicon's involved, and the devil, and there's aliens, and there's vampires and witches, and I mean it's all over the place. But it's cohesive. Every song's a part of it. Every song flows from one to the next. There's some like little studio magic that Robert and I wrote, just little parts, like little acoustic guitar parts and stuff, and It was just cool. It was probably the most creative thing I've been a part of, and I'm really proud of the lyrics I put into it. I felt it.
So, some of those interludes are really cool too.
Yeah, the first one, I can't remember what it's called, and there's one with like a cool piano. I can't really remember.
That's the God Particle.
It's just, the very end. Yeah, that shit's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of, as fantastical as it is, there's a lot of reality in there and like current events and what's going on in the world, and a lot of it. It's almost, so we wrote the album was done probably 2 years ago, but when COVID hit, we were like, well, we can't tour this. And then we lost 2 members of the band, and it was like, well, are we going to release it? And we decided to because we put so much into it, and the other 2 guys were still cool with us releasing it. So it's weird to think that we wrote it that long ago, and there's a lot of it. I'm talking about plagues and disease and stuff and all this, and it happened. COVID happened. It was like, what did I predict? Did I predict this? I may have.
That's insane. That you did you record it like 2 years ago? Also, like,
yeah.
So you just been sitting on it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. How hard is that to have this whole album's just sitting there on your laptop?
It's hard because like I can't not share it with friends. So a lot of our friends got to hear it, and a lot of our hardcore fans heard all the songs because they show up at the shows. We've been playing the songs live for a while. But it is so cool to have it finally out there. I feel like the birth has been given to the baby.
I was about to say Backseat Driver and Rose and Bridge have been out for a while too.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like those 2 are on the album.
Yeah.
The whole album's been done for as long as those 2 songs have, and we had music videos done. One of them 2 or 3 years ago, Backseat Driver, and then Rose and Bridge was almost a year and a half or 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was about to say that one was more recent.
I didn't realize y'all had music videos. I need to check them out.
Yeah, we got
really
like
good,
6
man.
or 7 now. Some of them are really awesome. Some of them are funny. Some of them are cringy.
Well, that's one of the questions I got. So what's your vision when y'all are planning out a music video? Who do you kind of come up with everything, or do y'all get with a director? And
yeah, it's a little bit of both. Since I had this whole concept and all the lyrics written out, I feel like I was a little more on the let's do it this way kind of side. But working with Brando Jones, those guys are just really good at what they do. Everything looks great. You can see the videos yourself on YouTube. They had a lot of creative input, and it was really like none of it. A little bit of it was talked about before we went into it, but a lot of it was like that day we're like, all right, well, I got this cool idea for this little thing. Let's do it. And there was just a lot of magic that happened in the moment.
oh yeah, so the Rose and Bridge video is really cool. The beginning with Ken.
Yeah. So we were going for
That was dope.
basically the first part of the album, we unleash hell by reading a passage from the Necronomicon in a song.
Yeah.
And then so a lot of the stuff happens. There's a lot of time between. There's like us traveling to different dimensions to do different things and stuff. I don't want to give away too much of the story, even though it's weird, and you'll be like, what is happening here? But there's a point where the apocalypse happens, basically, and when we come back, we're different, and we have to do something to save the world, basically.
It's cool.
So I got a question. So on the song Necronomicon, which is probably my favorite on the album, that song's fucking dope.
It's very fun.
There's that part at the end with like the newscaster or whatever. Is that from something, or did y'all just record that?
Sample that?
So our engineer, Brandon Hamby at Dead Peasant Studios, I think he found that in the movie, what's the movie where they have a fake newscast and it's like the end of the world and aliens are coming?
Is that War of the Worlds?
It might be War of the Worlds. It's one of those. I think he got it from that. Basically, we just told him, hey, we want there's aliens coming. That's what Indigo Monster, the next song, is about. So we wanted something that involved aliens and that kind of thing. He just found it on his own. We dug what he did with it, so we were like, yeah, that's good.
Were the screams in it too, or was that y'all?
I believe,
because those were some chilling fucking screams
was not
at the end of
us.
that.
I think that's actually in it, and I agree with you. It's very bone chilling.
Yeah, man. So what's y'all's writing process like? How does a Rebel song get written?
The Rebels have always been, we show up for practice and we write it together, and honestly, it's not even like, it's one person's like, I got this riff, or either they're just making it up in that moment and we all just join in and it's a song already. I will start singing something from my phone. Like, I write lyrics constantly, so I've got like hundreds of things in my phone. So I'll just start singing something over it and it becomes the song, and it'll sound like almost like it does by the time we're done. It's it's cohesive and it's all together. But
that's something we're kind of trying to figure out right now, because we're in a band too. It's much more in its infancy, developing and whatnot, but we're trying to figure out songwriting and how to all put our heads together.
For us it's just we get together and we play, and that's songs for us.
Being cohesive like that helps a lot with that kind of shit.
How long y'all been playing together?
This is our 6th year. We just hit 6 years a couple weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
We've been through some changes. I'm the only original member left of the band. However, Robert has been with us just as long as anybody else had that left the band. He's been with us 3 years now, so that's
I didn't know he had joined. I thought he was an original.
He would have been there in the beginning, but he had some family stuff going on, and like we knew we wanted him in the band, but he had to get clear of everything, and finally he was available, and we're just like, come on, brother.
Yeah, man. He fits with y'all so well. He's such a good guitar player. And
I love writing with Robert.
Does he come up with a lot of those riffs then?
Oh, yeah.
Those riffs are...
And I was going to say...
now, not all of the ones on there are his. Some of those are JJ's riffs. Some of them, like Necronomicon is a JJ song. There's still... We tried to credit everyone in that album. So this is like the one album we've put out that literally everybody involved had something to do with it.
Well, I was going to say, Robert plays some... like vintage ass guitar, man. Some of those riffs he comes up with sound like 80s shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking badass.
Yeah, I actually think JJ had a little more of the 80s sound. Robert's got some weird dynamic stuff that he and I work really well together. He can tap into like the feeling of a song really well. So if I'm like, I got this idea for a Necronomicon or some kind of alien thing, he'll do something with his guitar. It's like, well, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Did he come up with like the stuff in Indigo Monster, like the?
I think that Indigo Monster might have been him and JJ together, but I cannot remember, as it's been, like I said, since it's been so long. But yes, the beginning when the like monologue thing's going on and there's the movie effects or whatever.
Yeah,
Robert's doing something. He's got some kind of crazy effect to use on his guitar to make all these alien noises.
Yeah.
So what are some of y'all's influences? Like, what do y'all draw from?
So over the
Besides
years,
Evil Dead.
it's honestly been all over the place. I mean, you can tell horror movies. It's not just all me, but like a lot of my writing's based on horror movies or things that happen to me in dreams. A lot of us all are into horror, so that was one of the places we all did sort of like meet. But there are musically over the years, like our old drummer Brad, he was so different in what he listened to. It was like West Coast punk stuff was what he was into. Yeah. I've always been into everything. Yeah. Metal's my main, but I listen to every genre just about, and there's bands within all of them that I love.
Mm-hmm. I remember what I was gonna say. Did Robert come up with like the acoustic parts? I like those acoustic songs.
He and the guy. So we were in the studio, and the other guys went to get breakfast. And on the song "Ego," he and I were there by ourselves. And oh no, it wasn't "Ego." It was "Black Pyramid." Mm-hmm. So we wrote that one in the moment that we recorded it, and I was playing like a djembe on that. Yeah. So I'm doing the percussion, and there's this metal pole in the studio, and if you hit it with a quarter, it had this ding, sound. Yeah. And I was hitting that every couple seconds, so you can hear that in the song.
I love that kind of shit.
Yeah, me too. I love experimenting
using
in
your
the studio.
surroundings and sound design and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, but that one. So "Ego," "The God Particle," and "Black Pyramid" were all written on the spot. And one day it was just we hadn't planned them. They weren't anything we talked about doing some segue songs, but it just kind of happened.
Cool. "Ego" is one I wrote down as like a little bullet point I wanted to bring up. "Ego." It's got like the bongos and shit. And I like the acoustic guitar on that. It's got a lot of like resonance and shit.
That's Robert. And that one on Ego, it's actually the full band. Disaster, who was our bass player at the time, was playing acoustic guitar. Robert playing acoustic guitar. Brad played the bongos, and I just was making up words on the spot. Some of the words came from Rosenbridge. It was just basically like a chant that I had in my head, so I just kind of used that.
I was going to say, I like how y'all get pretty experimental at points on the album. I think that's really cool.
We wanted to do that. All of us are really into like Queen and they did stuff like that. Back in the day, an album was an album. It was cohesive. You want the listener to enjoy the whole thing. It's like a movie to me. I'm really into Mastodon and Tool for that reason.
Hell yeah.
I just love the whole experience. I'm a big movie buff, so if you can pull me in with an album or music, I'm like there for it.
Yeah.
I got a question. So, like, when you listen to the album and you hear the vocals, and then like talking to you now, it's like almost completely different.
Yeah,
like you sound like a different dude. Like, how do you like?
Yeah.
Did you have to train yourself to sound like that, or is that just how like?
I would say with the Rebels, it is almost a practice sound, because if you hear me play with my acoustic, it does not sound like the same guy at all. I've been in 20 years now. I've been singing in bands. I've probably had 6 of my main bands that I would say that every bit of it was very different from what I'm doing now, or each band's different in its own right. So I feel pretty privileged to have been able to play with the musicians that I have, the caliber of musicians, and it just pushed me to keep doing better and change. And I want to be different on every album. I don't want to be the same guy. Like, you fall into that. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I like Godsmack, but they have a sound, and it sounds like that on every song. And it's like, I don't really want to fall into that.
Yeah.
I would like to do different things, and I will continue to do that. Our next album will probably sound even more different than the one we're on.
Well, that's a good segue into a question I have. Is you already writing new music?
Yeah, we've actually recorded 2 new songs. One of them is cover. We've got a music video coming out for that. It's for Dragula by Rob Zombie. So we recorded the music video. It's going to be awesome. Like, we haven't even seen it yet, but just the whole experience of doing it was amazing. We had access to the actual Munsters Dragula car, so I got to drive it. Wow. That was awesome.
No way.
Yeah.
How'd you manage that one?
Yeah. So our buddy Ron, we'll say he's our tour manager, big Mohawk guy. He's always at our shows. He works for a haunted pyramids place in Shelby, North Carolina, and the owner of that haunt owns the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, or obviously not the cartoon version, but and he has Dragula and a couple other things, and I couldn't believe he let me drive it. I have a video of me actually driving the thing, and it wasn't for very far. It's just down this little dirt road, but
that's sick, man.
It was awesome. But yeah, and then we have another song called Harry Kiri that we recorded. We recorded this at Exodian Studios. It's the only thing we've ever recorded not at Dead Peasants. Our other 2 albums were both there. And we're going to try to release those as just a little like A and B side soon.
Exodian, isn't that in North Carolina?
Yep, it's Black Mountain.
Yeah, I know some guys in a hardcore band that just recorded there.
Yeah, so some of the guys that work there are in Fractured Frames, and then Redefined recorded their stuff there, and that's what we heard. We love those guys. They're awesome.
Sick,
and they're just the way their album sounded was just like really well produced. So we were like, hey, where would y'all go?
Yeah.
The guy that we were going to, Brandon, he had kind of decided to shut the doors of Dead Peasants. COVID going on, he had a new daughter and stuff, and just couldn't do it. I think now maybe he's going to do it again, but I'm not sure. But yeah, look for 2 brand new songs with the new guys, Jimmy and Clark, on there.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, we'll definitely keep y'all updated as those come out on the pod.
Okay, so you mentioned this earlier about a couple guys quitting. You guys have gone through a considerable amount of lineup changes in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like it's just an open door policy with us. Like the other guys that have left are still our brothers. We still love them.
Yeah.
There's been times where, like, when Disaster was still the bass player, there was a time he was sick, and our old guitarist JJ stepped in and played bass for Disaster. I feel like at any point, if one of us couldn't do it, if we called the other guys and be like, hey, y'all know the songs, you want to show up and play tonight, if they could do it, they would do it. We still love them. The other 3 all have a new band coming out. I think they're called Atomic Blood, tentatively.
Yeah. Didn't y'all have, at one point, y'all had Colt from Moonshine Bandits, didn't you?
Yeah, he was.
I was at that show at Tribbles.
Yep. After Brad left, Colt was with us for a couple months, and he was just getting really busy with Moonshine Bandits, so... our buddy Clark had to sit in one day, and Clark came and he just knew the stuff right off the bat. Clark's an amazing drummer. He is.
I was gonna say I told you this a while ago on Instagram, I think, but this is like my favorite lineup of y'all because I've seen y'all. I've seen the old lineup. I've been seeing y'all for a couple of years now, and this is my favorite one. Jimmy and Clark stepped in and fucking killed it. They fit in with y'all so well. And
yeah, we've got a really
cohesive.
good crew right now. We all get along really well. We always have, but like it's nice to be in a band that legitimately we are brothers. We love each other. We like to be around each other.
Yeah.
I think that it's weird though, because like there are people that might be the opposite of you that liked our earlier sound when it had that 80s rock, that hardcore drive. Now it's getting heavier and darker, and even though there are heavy and dark songs on Devil May Try album, the next one's probably going to be even heavier because I'd like to think Jimmy and Clark are there now. So
yeah, dude.
Put that shit in drop E and just let it go.
Yeah, we've got some drop C stuff coming out. The two songs that I was talking about we've recorded, I think they're both in drop C.
There's some pretty heavy. Which ones are they? I have them written down. Loose Fur is pretty heavy.
Yep.
I was listening to that one on the way over here.
That one's really good.
That's a good song.
Yeah, I love that one.
I was doing roll-ups at work, like rolling silverware with Black River Rebels on my AirPods. I was like, this is the way to fucking do it.
It might be the only thing that can help with the side work. Rebels.
Brunch side work is not a fun time.
Are you ready to kill everyone because of brunch? Try the Black River Rebels.
I'll read the Necronomicon. Get me the fuck out of here, please.
Say the title track's pretty heavy too.
Yeah.
Devil May Try. Yeah.
Yeah. It progressively gets heavier, and there's sort of a part of the story as to why that happens.
Yeah.
But you'll just have to when we're about to release it on vinyl and CD, and we're going to have a full booklet. Matt Granger, who was a really good friend of mine, did the cover art, but he's also done the inside booklet art. So we're going to have a booklet with all the lyrics. The whole story's going to be there. I've got like a foreword, so you can kind of see what's going on in the.
Have you thought about like turning it into like a book or a short story or anything?
Yeah, sort of. I sort of did that by putting like the foreword in the beginning of the album. When you get it, you can see I've sort of wrote in the blanks. It's like you can only fit so many words into a song, so I can't tell the full story. So I wanted to explain a little bit of what's going on. And as fantastical it is, there is some reality put to it. So there's a lot of what was happening to us as a band in real life. I mentioned something about a jackal, and it sounds like I'm talking about an actual jackal, but the band Jackal took us on for a little while. We toured with them, and there's some lines in the songs that'll relate to that. And then there was some stuff politically going on, or just where we're at in the world and how things are changing. And
what are you talking about? The last 5 years have been fantastic. What could you be talking about?
Yeah, who knows there?
Politically, what?
Mm-hmm.
So as me, Coley, and Phillips, who's in the back, piddling around, are all in like new bands. Do you have any advice for people like in our situation who are just sort of starting out and trying to figure it out?
Practice. I listened to a little bit of y'all's last podcast, and one of y'all said don't play a show before you're ready. That's great advice.
Absolutely.
You just gotta
we
stick
learned that
with
the
it.
hard way.
And it's not that the Rebels didn't really follow this, and nobody left because we hated each other. It was just like things in our own lives as individuals lead you different directions, and anytime anybody's left the band, it was just like something with their family or something was going on. We've never had a problem of getting along or anything like that, but stay together. Like if you can, stay together. You'll grow together. It's when that chemistry's there, sometimes it's hard to find that chemistry. The Rebels had it from the start. The first practice I went over to try out with the guys. They saw me with my other band, The Accuser, and then 3 days later, I went. They told me that night they had something they wanted to put together. I went over, tried out. We wrote "In We Dive" and "Eat Your Heart Out." I think that day, and it was just on from that point.
That's insane that y'all can do that, because we've been trying to write songs for the better part of 6 months now. Between the four of us, who Davis isn't here at the moment, we just can't quite get it to click properly. And also we're new at this.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it comes a little later. Like you get to know each other a little better, and at that point, everybody in the Rebels have been in bands for 20 plus years. The rest of the guys were probably more at that point. So it helps they have that much experience when you start a new band. At that point in your musical career, it just comes a little easier too. my first band 20 years ago. I was horrible. I have proof of it. We were a young band. We were called Almost Perfect. We were far from that.
Very
or at least
fitting.
I was. And my voice sounds totally different. I'm like, it's on the like Dead Boys style punk side. So, but I had a high pitched voice. It's weird because now mine's really low. If I ever let you hear it, you'd probably laugh at me.
We were going to do that anyway, so don't take it personally.
But you got to start somewhere. So
kind of trying to get through that first song. The first one's always the worst. But
I remember what I was going to say earlier. I just thought it was funny that you were covering Dragula by Rob Zombie and you're in the Munsters car because Rob Zombie's directing the Munsters movie.
So that was one of the coolest bits of news we got. We recorded the song. Basically what happened was Ron, our friend, was like, I have access to Dragula. So I said, well, why don't we just cover Dragula and we'll do that. So we have the actual Dragula car. We did the song. It fits us perfectly. Like I feel like even live, it's a monster of a song for us to do. Yeah. Well, I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. Actually, we all are. We love horror movies and stuff like that. So we were like, God, it'd be awesome if we get him to hear it. That's all we want. If something came of it, like if we got to play with him on a tour, that'd be awesome. But just knowing that Rob Zombie heard our music would be awesome in itself. But the fact that we got the car and we got to do the music video and we're actually really proud of the song is a whole other dimension to it. So
I'll tweet the song at Rob Zombie every day for you, man.
Please
I make sure he hears it.
But yeah, that was so after we recorded the song, the actual audio. He released the news he was doing the new Munsters movie, and I was like, oh, my God, this is perfect timing. So we were like, we got to get this video done. We got it done. We haven't seen any of it, but we're releasing it October, it's either the 29th or 30th. We're at Tribbles in Piedmont. We're doing a music video release for that, so it should be done by then.
I will try to, you said October 30th?
Yeah, I think it's the 29th or the 30th.
Because that's Friday and Saturday, so I should be able to go because I have those nights off.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go.
Hashtag Rebels for the Munsters.
It is the 30th, yes.
I was going to say I went to Gaslight Friday night after work.
Why?
And I walked in, and there was karaoke night. We went upstairs, and there was a small Asian man with an Elvis haircut singing Dragula.
That's amazing.
It was awesome, yeah.
I would like to see that very much so.
That's one of the best things I've ever heard.
Then I got my ass grabbed by a very drunk man.
That's why you don't go to Gaslight.
I'd like to see that also, maybe. I had heard things about the Gaslight. I've been bartending in Greenville for ever, 10 years at least, and you always hear, it's a swingers bar, you don't want to go there, it's creepy or whatever. And then I actually went one night for an open mic or karaoke or something, and I was like, oh, it's really nice up here.
Yeah, it's
like,
cool
there's all walks of life in there, whatever, do what you want to do. I actually had fun. It was pretty up there.
Yo, if they do open mics at Gaslight, we got to start going.
We should do it. I liked it. It was a pretty nice bar.
All the cougars would be all over me.
Yeah, I went to an open mic and played Britney Spears on the guitar. That got a rise out of a lot of people. Maybe a literal rise.
My friends have told me many weird stories about that place.
My mom's got a good story about Gaslight that I will not tell here.
Okay, there's a wooden X in the pool room with straps and shit. My friends put me on it.
The torture rack, as I'd like to call it.
They have an actual torture rack there?
I have pictures, dude. I can show you.
When was this?
Friday night. I went, and
it's a good thing I didn't go.
Have you ever been to Equinox when they have those?
I wasn't able to go. I've met a couple of the girls who work it, though, and it looks like a lot of fun. I follow them on Facebook.
Radio Room sometimes, but there's one that's probably the same weekend we're playing, but yeah, Radio Room's got that going on. That's always fun.
Here's a question for you. What are some of your favorite venues to play around here or in general?
We'll start with my favorite venue ever that I've never played is the Tabernacle, and I really want to make that happen. But we play Amos's South End in Charlotte.
I love fun. That venue. That venue's so cool.
The Fillmore Underground was awesome. We haven't made it to the actual Fillmore right beside there yet. But in Greenville, I love playing at Radio Room. I love playing at Got Rocks. That's honestly about all that we do play in Greenville now that the Firmament's gone.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah,
dude.
that one was fun. It was nice getting to jump on some national shows and stuff.
You could always try Smiley's. You're not quite there.
So I've played Smiley's with other bands, and of course I've done open mic by myself. I think the Rebels would literally destroy the place. Like the tables would overturn and glass would break. I don't think they could handle the Rebels in there. We are so loud.
We played some Blink over there the other day, and I thought the whole place was going to cave in.
Yes.
Shout out Tribbles. Tribbles is probably my favorite place to go.
Oh, yeah,
and watch
I should have named Tribbles. It is still kind of the Greenville area. It's not very far away.
Yeah.
Tribbles is our home away from home. We keep teasing that we're the Tribbles house band because during the pandemic we couldn't really play anywhere else. It was just like, well, let's play locally. So we're at Tribbles a lot, but we love it out there. It's the Church of the Rock and Roll. I named it such.
Yeah. Where is Tribbles? I've never heard of it.
It's in Piedmont.
Baby.
Yeah, it's near the Budweiser distribution area.
Oh, okay.
That new QT. I don't remember what's the exit there.
It's exit. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's not far from the exit. Maybe another mile down the road.
I'll probably pass it 100 times now.
Check it out because it's really. You look at it from the outside and you'll think, I don't know about this. And you go inside and you're still like, all right, it looks cool. I don't know about this still. But honestly, the people that go there are so accepting and like into everything. They have drag shows at Triples and it seems like this little redneck dive bar. But it's not that. It is legitimately one of the coolest scenes around right now because there's always rock music and there's always people that give a shit and they come out and they pay attention and listen.
I remember the old radio room and I used to sneak in there when I was in high school. And the first time I went in there, from the outside, it doesn't even look like a bar or a music venue or anything. It just looks like a weird house. And then you go in, and it's about like 8 foot wide, and then it's like 30 feet deep. And the stage is about 6 inches off the ground.
And there's carpet, and there's like years and years worth of beer in that carpet.
Yes,
it was honestly like the gates of hell. You just had to go through the girls' bathroom to get there.
I had an awakening in that bar because I saw Vera there, and man, Vera fucking rocks. I think they got back together finally, but they didn't do anything for a long time. But they had a sick drummer. She was a redhead. Like she was about 4'8", and she was just a badass.
Right. Yeah. I saw a lot of cool shows at the old Rudy Room. I got to play a lot of cool shows. I've seen bands there that are now kind of huge, and you wouldn't expect it, but the Radio Room has always brought some cool shit.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you got like Islander, like that was their home away from home for a long time.
I love those guys.
I haven't seen them live either. I went to high school with the bass player's little brother. I don't know if he's still the bass player or not, but it was when they signed to Victory, he was.
So Chris Carvajal, who was the keyboard player, is now the bass player. I think he's doing both. He'll have his keys up there and the bass. I think COVID kind of messed some stuff up. Maybe some member changes going on there. Yeah. But I love those guys. We'd love to play with those guys. They've got a lot of energy at live shows. We do as well. I think it'd be a good fit.
Yeah, y'all do. That's one of my points is y'all's performance style. I enjoy watching y'all. Y'all put on a great show. What's y'all's, you just go out there and kill it. What's y'all's, I'm trying to find a way to word this. How do you go about performing?
I've always thought of it as an escape from who I have to be when I'm off stage. It's where I really get to thrive. It's where I feel alive. Maybe the only place I feel alive, honestly. So when I'm on stage, I just become another monster. There was a Lemmy quote I read probably when I was first starting, and it's something to the extent of nobody wants to see a regular guy on stage. They want to see an alien from out of this world. So I don't know that I set out to be that, but I am that on stage. It happens to me. Music runs through me. I feel it. I can't help it.
R.I.P. Lemmy. He was the fucking man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I played... Let's see, last Monday we played open mic at Smiley's, and that was my first time ever performing in front of people. And ever since then, I've just had that little itch to do it again. I love it. It's always been one of my biggest fears is because, I have stage fright and shit. Mm-hmm. Always one of my biggest fears is just playing in front of people and judgment and that kind of shit. But I got up there and did it, and it was awesome, man. I've been wanting to do it ever since.
I'd say just do it for yourself when you're up there. Have fun. People if you're having fun, people will have fun.
That last open mic was terrifying for me. That's the first time I've ever fronted anything. Yeah. And I was it was complete. I was fine, and I was fine. And I was walking on stage. I was like, oh shit, I have to actually do this now.
That's exactly how I was, man.
I don't ever get nervous, but I get anxious. I just like anytime I'm waiting on an opener or watching the opener do their thing, I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I want to be up there. And I'm just like, people are like, are you nervous? You okay? I'm just like, I'm anxious. I want to go. Let's rock.
I've gotten to the point now where it's like I'll see people on stage about like playing shows and stuff, and I'm just like, fuck, I wish I was up there now.
Yeah,
I wish I was up there playing right now.
I go see a lot of shows. I used to go a lot more locally. I've gotten old and I stay at home sometimes now. But I was like, it's become that for me. It's just like, man, I want to watch this band and stuff, but can I just be up there? If I ever write an autobiography, it'll be, can I be in your band? Because I just want to be in every band ever.
That's great.
we were supposed to have another open mic that Tuesday after that Monday, and it ended up not happening, and it just bummed me out, man. I was sad all week. I was like, dude, I was ready.
Yeah, FYI, everybody, Craft and Barrel does not do open mic.
We learned the hard way. But yeah, I've had that little itch ever since, man.
Yeah, it's cathartic being on stage. It's my therapy. If I don't have it, I do go crazy.
Didn't know I'd like it as much. It's a nice surprise.
So you said you've been on tours. What kind of tours have you done? Have you done anything like crazy, like the months?
Actually, no. In my entire career, I've never been on one of those like go for a month, and I want to. I could hate it, and like I've been pursuing this dream for that long, and I could absolutely hate it, and I don't know. But we've gone on runs where we go out of town for a weekend and stuff, or the next weekend we're somewhere else. So I don't know if you can call it a real tour, but we've gotten older. Some of the guys in the bands have families. They can't feasibly just leave their families or their jobs that they make good money at. So we try not to spin our wheels. There are younger bands that can go out and sleep in the van and do whatever they can to do it and make it. But we're to a point now where it's just, the right opportunity's got to come along. We're not doing it for money, but, sometimes money is a factor. Like if we're going to go really far away, you got to make enough to, we're missing work. If I miss out on work, it's a couple $100. Like, I'm a bartender, so
right.
One day is a couple $100 for me, and I only work 2 days a week. So there you go.
Yeah. Who's going to sell that Pirate Punch if you're not there?
Yeah, that's all I am, is a Pirate Punch peddler.
Shit's delicious, though. It makes me throw up, but it's delicious.
Let's set the record straight. It is Pirate Punch and not Power Punch. As everyone that comes in and orders it says, Power Punch.
What is Pirate Punch?
You will receive no power from that stuff, believe me.
Next time we're at Radio Room, I'll get you a shot of Pirate Punch. It comes out of a V8 jug. That's all I really know. It's orange.
Well, here we go. This is not the recipe, but this is the ingredients. Coconut rum, 151 rum, and V8 splash. Nice. That's the secret. Now you have to figure out how much of each to put in there.
A lot.
Yes, the answer is a lot.
Because I don't remember if you were working. I went there on my birthday, and it was me and some of the people in the band. Phillips wasn't there, but all the rest of the band was there, and I got fucking annihilated. I was like dancing on top of the tables on the back porch area.
Hell yeah, brother!
Like I was making speeches, and I must have had 8 or 9 shots of the Pirate Punch.
Hear ye!
And my girlfriend at the time is driving me home, and I'm going arr because I think I'm a pirate at this point.
It does actually turn you into the pirates. That's why we called it that.
And I go like, I don't feel so good. I was like, stop. And she goes, it's a red light. We're already stopped. And I was like, oh, then I'm in trouble. So I pop the window down and just go.
Yeah, that's the sugar.
Right over the side of my car.
I don't think that's the alcohol. That's the sugar.
That's exactly what it is. It's that V8. It's not the Rum 151 or the Malibu, I assume.
Straight sugar.
Well, we were talking about some of your favorite venues. You got any, you said you've been doing this 20-plus years. You got any, like, crazy or funny show stories you can tell us? I'm sure you got plenty.
I do, but I don't know that I can tell them. There's some that I just cannot tell. Maybe one day in a book if I write it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's one that kind of got us in trouble. We were playing with a big band. I won't say who they are. They're big. They've been big for a long time. And we were hanging out with them, and so there were 2 different green rooms. They had one, we had one. They were both really nice. We were at the Ritz in Raleigh, and probably one of the nicer venues we've ever played. And we go and play our set and go back to our green room, and in the meantime, this other band pulled a tour prank, which happens, it's no big deal. They drew phallic images all over everything in the room. Like, they literally rolled, there was a paper towel dispenser. They rolled that thing down and drew one on each individual sheet of paper towel and rolled it back up, and it was just so many of them. They were under the tables. They were everywhere. And I've never seen so many phallic images in my life. And so, it's hilarious. We're laughing. Well, we get to the next venue the next night, which is the Fillmore Underground, and the guy that books the shows out there comes up, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. It's maybe not a big deal to me, but the person that was in charge there was very offended by it. We heard that you guys drew phallic images all over. Well, I could say dicks, right?
You can say, you can fucking swear
there
on
were
this.
cocks everywhere. So he's like, so we heard there were a lot of dicks drawn last night at the Ritz, and they're talking about banning you guys from any Live Nation events, and we're like, oh my God, like we didn't do that. It was a tour prank. We didn't do it. To us it was funny, but it was not funny to the person that found it there. And I don't think none of them were actually on anything. It's not like anything was vandalized. It was all like pieces of paper and toilet paper and paper towels and stuff like that. So, but there were a lot of them. So this is the first thing we hear. And we're like at this big venue. And it's like, oh my God, we're by this awesome venue. And they're mad at us. Like, why are they so mad at us? So we were just like, I promise it wasn't us. We're really sorry. We'll apologize to the person. And we did. And they were like, you guys were so nice. We loved having you. Your set was awesome. And then we go to the green room and see what y'all done to the place. I was like, it wasn't us. I promise it wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Real quick, I'll edit this part out. What band was it?
I mentioned them earlier. I'm actually in a new band with some of the members of this band, so I don't want to make them mad at me if I put that name out there.
Yeah, we totally understand. Yeah. We'll get you drunk on Tuesday. And
I like that you offered me like. I came in, they're like, would you like a beer or a liquor cabinet? I was like, I'll take a liquor cabinet, please.
I'm surprised you didn't bring a drink up here. Like I was drinking Blade and Bow on a Big Rock.
I just drank a shot of Grand Marnier, and that's good for me. I quit drinking for like 4 years, so now when I do drink, I try not to get too drunk.
Yeah. I'm only 24. I'm still trying to get as drunk as I can on as much of a budget as possible.
I wish I was 24.
It's straight Jaeger and Rumple for me.
Yeah. I can't do the Rumple anymore. I swore it off. I turn into a monster on Rumple.
You would talk about just straight sugar. Like that is, it is just distilled sugar with a splash of toothpaste.
That's what I blame every time. It's never the alcohol. It's the sugar. It turns me into a fiend.
And then you try and drink water to soak it up, and the water just bubbles. Turns into a witch's brew in your stomach.
Yes, a minty witch's brew.
But you know what? It's about to be cold around here, and that Rumplemint's will keep you warm on the way to your car.
Oh, God, I had another question. This is the third question I forgot.
You're doing a great job.
Give me 20 seconds, dude.
You're killing it.
I'll have it back.
Well, is there anything that you want to promote or anything? This will come out after your show on Tuesday.
So I mentioned the show. Oh, so it's coming out.
It'll come out. So if you want to talk about anything else about the show,
I hope that you made it to our show on Tuesday. We do have some stuff coming up. Let me look at my calendar. I mentioned the Tribbles show on the 30th. We've got Palmetto Moonshine on the 29th.
I've never been there. I might come to that. I've never been to that place.
Which one?
Palmetto Moonshine.
Yeah, it's a Halloween party, so it should be cool.
I thought you said that was a band earlier. I'm thinking of Moonshine Bandits.
That is also a band.
Yeah. Where's Palmetto Moonshine at? Oh, is that the distillery over there on Powder
it's
Springs
pretty
Road?
much downtown Anderson.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Anderson. I've been to it a couple times, but I couldn't tell you exactly how to get there. But it is very close to downtown or in downtown.
Anderson's just one of those places that just feels like it's far away from everything. Right? It's always a
I think it's far away in time. Like you go back in time if you go to Anderson because they smoke inside and
oh yeah, that's right. The last time I was in Anderson, I was in downtown Anderson at a pool hall, just smoking cigarettes, ashing on the pool table, like nobody cared.
Yeah, and I'm over there trying to sing, just hacking up a lung.
They don't need a smoke machine, like it's built in.
Yeah, it's one thing to smoke your own cigarette. You got to smoke everybody else's. It's just bad times.
I quit smoking, and that's how long ago it was. I was in downtown Anderson that I was smoking in a bar. Because I used to smoke, and it was like the week I turned 18, because back then you could be 18 and smoke. And that was like all before then, all through high school, I was smoking in the Waffle House, and it was never an issue. It's like the weekend I turned 18, they got rid of smoking in the Waffle House, and I was like, well, the food tastes like food now. This is bullshit.
I used to work at an old Ingles, and they just never renovated or like fucking cleaned the place. So back in like our little like dining area, one time, this was during COVID, so all the chairs and tables were, in the back and shit. And our manager made us clean the walls. And we cleaned off so much fucking smoke off those walls.
Oh, gross.
From probably like the fucking 70s or something. It was wild.
It's hard to clean that stuff. It's like
It's a mixture of fry grease and
I helped paint a house one time, and we cleaned the walls, and then we primered the walls, and then we painted the walls, and the nicotine still seeped through those layers.
Damn.
So when we moved into this house, like they redid the whole kitchen. But they used to fry a whole bunch of food here. They used to fry like a bunch of chicken and stuff. And when they were repainting, they had to just industrial clean the walls off to get all the yellow grease off just so that you could prime it.
It's basically the ghost of old chickens that you're dealing with. You're smelling.
The ghost of chicken past.
That's a band name. There's something there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
At least an album.
Oh shit. I was going to say, I think you mentioned this. Y'all got a new group, right? Isn't it called like PB&J or something?
Oh, yes. So that's me, TJ Jones, who was at one point the Silver Tongue Devil singer. He's got a new band in the works as well.
Cool.
And then Joe Power, who is in Hurt and Skip, as well as Buffalo Head and Cash Machine. He used to be in a band called The Consumers that my old band Burning Nova played with. So we just formed this new little trio. It basically came about because I've been playing solo shows since COVID happened, and I don't like it. I don't like being alone up there. So nothing better than having a couple friends come join you, and we just decided, like, with our three voices together, we could destroy a planet.
That's cool.
I'm excited. You should come to Smiley's with us sometime. Do open mic with us.
I'm down. They have them on Mondays, though, don't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I work at Radio Room. Come see me on Mondays and Tuesdays. Shameless plug.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what this podcast is all about. This podcast is literally named after our band. It's the same.
I like it. It's a cool name.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, PB&J's been fun. I made a little logo. Yeah. I do some art sometimes. So.
Is it just like an acoustic thing?
Yeah, so we practiced that way. Well, actually, we played our first show before we ever practiced at all. So we played at Tribbles, and then a week later, we played a practice. And we're just going to do some covers for now. But I did stick like 2 originals of mine in there, and we all talked about how I'd like to have one of Joe's or a couple of Joe's. Same with TJ. Let's just all throw some originals in the mix as well, if we can do them well.
That's kind of similar. So us three have a acoustic band called Hometown.
Shout out to Phillips.
And, shout out Phillips. He was on last week's episode. But it was kind of the similar thing. We had like 2 hours of practice. We just threw together 3 songs that we had. We did Damn It by Blink-182, Pins and Needles by Hawthorne Heights, and a third special song. And literally like 2 hours of practice. Got up there, killed it. We did really well.
Awesome.
And we're going to do
that was the first time I sang. Like, I didn't even play an instrument. I just sang, and it was
like I said, first time I had ever performed in front of people, period. So
playing that way is... I say I don't get nervous before I play. That's a little different when I'm not hiding behind a band or I'm in front of them, but whatever. That's where I'm comfortable. I don't feel like I'm much without a band. I'm the kind of guy that I need a band there for me to feel like it makes any kind of difference. But I'm very nervous when I play solo, so adding a couple other members has helped me some. And it'll make me better. I'll be playing acoustic more and like grooving off of them.
But that's why we started the acoustic band was... Because Phillips drums, but like he's got a heavy hand, and so we're like, why don't you try this acoustic stuff out? We can tone it down a little bit. I can work on my singing a little bit. Coley can get some practice going up in front of people and playing, and it just kind of all aligned. And this because the singer in Vital Wave, we were going to do open mic, and he said he couldn't make it, and then at the last second he could make it, so we ended up doing 2 sets, and then afterwards everyone left, and me and Phillips just stayed to keep drinking, and they asked if we wanted to go back on, so we went up with this new singer who's from I can't remember where she's from, but her name is. Kristen Maxwell. She does a lot of the open mics. And so she went up there with us. And so we went out in the front real quick and just like learned how to play Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Nice.
And she's got like this bluesy, like Bob Dylan voice. And so we were doing this like bluesy version of Smells Like Teen Spirit that we learned in 30 seconds. And then they tried to give us an encore. We didn't have another song. So I was just like, do you know, what's the Bob Dylan song that Johnny Cash used to cover? Oh, It Ain't Me, Babe. And so we just like I had the tabs like in front of me and was just learning it as we played it.
Awesome.
And it was awesome. It was probably some of the most fun I've ever had on stage.
I love when things come out organically like that. You don't plan for them. They're just kind of you have to feel the time. So there it is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's almost how Hometown came about, really. We just had to do something. And it just happened.
Yeah, we were like, well, I told like 100 people we were going to be at Smiley's, and then none of them even showed up.
Yeah.
Just singing into the void.
I've it's been years since I've done this. I used to send text messages to all my friends and invites and all that stuff, and it just gets to a point where you get tired of people saying, "Yeah, I'll be there," and then they're not. And people's lives are busy. You can't be mad at them.
Yeah, no.
But I'm definitely going to waste my time inviting everyone. I feel like if anybody cares, they'll show up. It's on the Facebooks.
So. I usually just throw up a little Instagram story, like, "Hey, I'm gonna be here." No one ever comes. But
yeah, I could do something simple like that.
Yeah, I don't even really use social media. I've got a big work group chat, and I was like, I'm playing at Smiley's, and if you don't show up, you're a coward. And then nobody showed up.
A shit ton of cowards.
Yeah, I work with like 50 cowards.
What
is that? Is that Grandma?
Phil for the win.
Phillips, I wish I would have given you my cup. I'd feel bad asking you to do it now.
Sip.
But you did. Oh, Thank you,
what
buddy.
the hell even is diesel?
I have
Amaretto.
I have Malibu and Sprite.
Oh, man,
Which
I was
is
at
like
work
cherry
the other day,
liqueur.
and this dude was on the
Thank
patio.
you, Philip. You're the best.
And he goes, I want something refreshing. And I was like, oh, well, we have like this and
Have you
this.
tried water, sir?
And he's like, I think I want an amaretto on the rocks with a splash of soda water. And I was like, oh, you're a fucking weirdo. Okay, I can't work with you.
You said refreshing, not. I don't have anything.
Yeah, whatever that is. I've never bartended, especially at Radio Room. I would love to bartend there. Maybe just for a night or two, because I wouldn't want to lose the magic of Radio Room.
I love the Radio Room. I love everybody I work with and for. I have been bartending too long, I will say.
What's your favorite?
I don't have much love for the bartending anymore. But
what's your favorite drink, personally, and to make?
To make is probably just cracking open a beer.
I'm one of those just like pour me a shot kind of dudes. I like craft beer, although I try not to drink beer anymore because the older you get, the gut kind of takes over.
Oh, it's already started on me. I drink so much PBR and Narragansett. You're the only place in town with Narragansett.
We do have Narragansett.
And that's my favorite beer in the world.
I had never heard of Narragansett, and then we got it at Radio Room, and then I was going back and watching all the old Cheers episodes, and that is the beer that they serve, like the house beer in the bar Cheers. So
it's also famous because in Jaws, when they're on the boat, that's the beer they're drinking. That's like where they got their whole thing from. They did this cool like 40th anniversary of Jaws where they had this like shark can.
I have a friend that's definitely afraid of sharks in the ocean, and I keep trying to make them watch Jaws.
Jaws is the greatest movie ever made. It's not about the shark; it's about the people.
What's the
people are the real enemy?
Narragansett.
I'm gonna get one Tuesday.
Yeah, Radio Room.
You'll regret it, but go ahead and try it.
Dude, it's like imagine PBR, but like made with like quality stuff, but somehow cheaper.
Nice.
Yeah, because the tall boys are $3, our PBRs are $2, and they're just the 12-ounce cans.
Sold on honor. No, made on honor, sold on merit. Narragansett.
Yeah, you may hear it called High Neighbor because it says that on the can, and people will say that, and I'm like, you want what?
I stole a Narragansett glass from Odo's one time. Don't arrest me, Odo's. But yeah, it says the High Neighbor on it. And I was like, I'm going to get that tattooed at some point.
They spelled it wrong.
Have you ever had?
If it said High Neighbor, I would understand.
Have you ever?
I've got some high neighbors.
Have you ever had? It's an Indian beer. It's called like High Lie.
Yeah, we have High Lie.
It's not bad.
It's an India Pale Ale. Yep.
Yeah, it's an American beer, but it's an Indian Pale Ale.
Oh, okay.
IPA.
Gotcha.
That's what IPA stands for.
I'm not a huge fan of IPAs. I can get through about a half of a High Lie, and I'm done with it.
You have to wear cargo shorts, play disc golf, and like have a divorce to enjoy IPAs, I think.
There are some that I like. I like G13. It smells like weed. It sort of tastes like weed.
Is that the Sweetwater?
Yeah, we have. It's the G13 strain Sweetwater 420. We have that on draft as well.
Mason, you just described my mom's ex-boyfriend with that. He wore cargo shorts and was going through a divorce, and he would bring Highlight every time we got together.
I know what's up.
He was bald too.
I used to work at a vape store that had taps, and so it was all those guys would come in. All the guys who were like, they quit smoking to appease their wives, and then their wives left them anyways, and so now they're stuck here drinking Gansets with me.
I love watching those dudes produce clouds, like whole clouds that eventually turn to rain. It's amazing. Sound like cotton candy gumdrops from Smurfland.
Your vape liquid names are some of the dumbest shit. I want to do a whole album, and every song is just named after a stupid-ass vape liquid.
So is weed, dude. Weed's got dumbass names.
But at least that makes sense because they're high when they come up with them.
I used to get shit called cheetah piss and fucking...
What strains were mixed together for that?
When I started
cheetah and piss.
Geriatric reefer.
Yeah.
You might retirement as well money at that point. Like that.
I bet you could make a killing selling weed at a retirement home.
Oh, dude.
So I knew a guy in Charleston whose name I won't say, but what he would do is, because his mom or his grandma had like really bad, it was either Alzheimer's or dementia, and that stuff helps. And so what he would do is he would turn it into like butter and brown sugar, and he would sell it to them, and then they would cook with it. And then like he made 90% of his money at retirement homes.
Genius. Millionaire in a year.
I feel like if anywhere should, allow like weed and shit, it should be retirement homes.
Yeah.
Or people are on
anything
their deathbed.
goes there.
The problem is they're all narcs.
I mean, yeah, but if they just made it like allowed in the facility.
I'm like a couch aficionado, and I gotta say I love this couch.
Man, I don't even want to get started on this fucking couch, dude. So my mom's boyfriend, who was on the couch downstairs, so this is his couch, and he just kind of moved in the last month or two, and I helped him move in. It was the day that I got my second COVID shot, or the day after, so I felt like dog shit, and I was hungover as fuck, and I had to go to work at like 3, and he wakes me up at 9 in the morning, and he's like, "We got to go get this couch," and I was like, how bad could it be? It's a pull-out couch. It's the heaviest fucking shit in the world, and it didn't fit in the doorways. We had to take all the legs off and like maneuver it and pray and I do a rain dance to get it in here, and it was ridiculous.
So this couch is gonna stay here until the house is gone.
I like it, man.
I'm never touching. Like I'm never moving this couch.
I love red couches for some reason. I have a red couch, and it looks very nice and it feels very soft, but I'm never comfortable on it. But this is the couch. This is the couch I would.
I just took a 30-minute nap, like literally right here. Like my legs were like poked up over the side of it. I wasn't even at the headrest. Like
I'm in the midst of an old nap spot.
Hey, Mason, while we're jamming sometime, come take a nap.
All right.
Like, Mason, get up. We got shit to do. He's going to be here in like 10 minutes.
I woke up. He had this fucking megaphone thing in my ear.
You wouldn't wake up, dude.
I had to be at work at 8:45 this morning for brunch.
Man,
the brunch crowd's the
I'd
worst.
Quit.
I was off brunches for 3 months. This is my first one back.
It doesn't take much for me. It's just like, I'd quit. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you couldn't work where I work. the place would not be disclosed, but my God, the fucking hoops.
I need a new job.
I've had friends that work there, and our friends are old co-workers as well that told me some of the horrors of that place.
Good money, but you gotta fucking earn it.
Mason keeps offering me a job there, and every time he says I have to shave, and I don't like that.
It seems like the type of place, which almost any service industry job is like this, but the type of place where your customers think that you're called a servant and not a server. I can't stand that.
It's the regulars that are bad about that. The people who come in like 2 or 3 times a year, they don't know any better. They're not going to tip anyway, so I'm not jumping through any hoops for you. But the guys who come in there like every night, like they'll come in like one night with their wives and the other night with their mistress. Just to expect everything. Phillips knows what I'm talking about. He used to work there. That's how we met.
Hey, they want me to shave, so no.
Yeah, that's good money.
Yeah. I need a new job. I have to get to my job at 5 a.m. every day.
Yeah, nah,
it sucks.
Dude.
I'm just over here wishing I could grow facial hair at 37 years old.
You got the nice the pirate mustache.
This horrible mustache is all I can do.
I've had one since I was 11.
I was like I was a late bloomer with shaving, but once I started shaving, I had to shave every day. And then I just had a beard forever. And I had a beard from the time I was like 17 until I started working this new job when I was 23. My mom didn't even recognize me when I went in on my first day.
I always say when I grow facial hair, I look like a Tokyo street thug.
I know exactly
and we
what you're
almost,
talking about.
There was a point where Black River Rebels might have changed their name to Tokyo Street Thug. There was some talk about it. We almost did it. And then we were like, well, it could be perceived as not good, as none of us are Japanese, and we wouldn't feel right about doing it.
It's like The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe it was okay. Whitewashing is never okay.
How do y'all come up with names and shit?
I was about to say, because you've listed off a shit ton of band names tonight, and I'm like, all of these, I'm like, damn, these are way better than some of ours.
It took us like 2 months to come up with a band name, and it was Carolina Bleeds, which we ended up loving, but 2 months to come up with it.
I feel like, I'm pretty creative, so I'll come up with some crazy stuff off the top of my head that I'll forget the next second or two.
Yeah, me too.
So if you just got that many people thinking about it, you also have to go for originality. I usually check Spotify or the internet to see if it's taken.
Oh, my Spotify history is littered with bands that have like 1,500 listeners.
I think one cool way of doing it is combining 2 words to make a new word. Like I wanted to be in a band called Pterodactyl. And I
respect it.
It was going to be like electronic death metal.
That's it.
So Pterodactyl coming to a theater near you when I can get it together.
I was with some of my friends.
Please put the wings on me. I can do this. I was born for this. I make pterodactyl noises at work all day, every day.
I was with some friends the other night, and somehow someone said this word, blood fart. And we were like, we've got
That's a punk band.
We've got to form a band now.
When we were trying to name PB&J, when it was just TJ and I, before the P joined the PB&J, we were going to be... We came up with wart milk, which is nasty, wart milk. But then when I told Joe about it, he was like, War Milk? And I was like, well, hold on, that's really good too. Because there's also the fact that my horrible accent sounds like I'm saying something else when I say whore milk.
Whore milk. So there was a band in the 90s in Charleston. They were a local band. And they were called Dick Delicious and the Tasty Testicles.
That's great.
And there will never be a better band name. I don't.
No.
Like, you can never top that.
You could double as porn stars and nobody bat an eye.
What's his name? That's the regular radio room. The older dude. I'm in there and I'm always talking to him about punk music and stuff.
Oh.
But because he was in 90s at the time. Because my dad was in a band in the 90s called Mother Fist, which is like sort of like Alice in Chains mixed with Pantera.
Nice.
If I can ever find that CD, I'll show it to you, Coley.
Yeah.
But yeah, so every time I have to be like, was Dick Delicious and the Tasty Testicles an actual band? Or has everyone just been fucking with me for 24 years now?
It was all a dream.
My dad was in a hair metal band called Smash Alley, named after the song by Faster Pussycat.
I was in a hair metal band. Well, I lived in England for a year, and we were called Iron Pussy. And when I joined the band, I was like, "Are you guys sure about that name?" And they're like, "This isn't America, man. Nobody cares here." I was like, "All right, cool."
It's like Steel Panther's like fucking.
Well, so
like
we did a couple Steel
cousin.
Panther songs, and we also wrote our own tongue-in-cheek, like very much Steel Panther type music. In We Dive's lyrics actually came. I wrote that song for Iron Pussy, but never got to put it to music. So when I went to the first Rebels practice, I used those lyrics, and In We Dive has some hidden meanings in there and stuff. If you want to read the lyrics, you'll probably get it.
That's a
cool
great song. That's a great song. That's one of my favorites to watch y'all play live.
Energy.
That one.
I had no idea y'all had an album already released, like that you could just find. So I thought this album that came out was your first one, and then I looked y'all up on Spotify. I was like, oh, they have a bunch of music on here.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
Hopefully more to come soon. Well, it is coming soon. I'm thinking, but within the next month or two, we'll probably release 2 brand new songs.
So do y'all have any aim for when y'all's next album will come out, like next year? Or?
I really hope for next year. I'd like to release one a year. It's sometimes not feasible, but we do have. I have like in my phone all the songs for the first album, all the songs for the second album, and then new songs for the next album. And we have 7. 2 of them are recorded. 5 of them we have down. We just haven't recorded them yet. So there's new music in the works.
God, we can't even come up with one song every 6 months, let alone an album a year.
I have a.
That's just super impressive to me.
I have one that I worked on last night. Still haven't listened to it yet, Mason. But
no, I haven't listened. I was going to listen to it, but I took a nap instead. I'm a terrible person and bandmate and podcast host, but at least I know what I am.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts? Any last questions, Coley?
I think that's it, man. Hold on. Let me see how long we've been gone.
Do you have anything you want to plug or promote? The show on Tuesday, it'll be too late by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
But me, Phillips, and Coley will definitely be there.
Let's see.
Real quick, for anyone watching on YouTube, all 4 of you, we're gonna link everything down in the description and the comments for the Black River Rebels. So go check them out. They're a great Greenville band. They bring it.
I'm over here trying to see if there was a camera. I was like, what? I would have been eating my boogers the whole time.
We'll have video one day, but we're still in our infancy as a podcast. All right. So
it's got to start somewhere. So I do have the next. So you won't be able to see the next Rebels show. The next show I have is the 22nd at Club 134 in Anderson with my other band, The Accuser.
I want to go there too. I haven't been there.
That'll be a good night to come. It's us and Aura Layer. That'll be a really good show.
Haven't seen The Accuser yet either.
And then Tribbles on the 30th. So Palmetto Moonshine the 29th. I don't know. I did those backward.
Back to back.
But yeah, look for PB&J to be out playing some soon. We haven't booked anything else yet, but we will.
We'll have links to the socials and everything.
Real quick, we never talked about The Accuser. What's that kind of what's that style? I've never heard or seen y'all or anything.
So some stuff exists of us. It's on SoundCloud, but it's older and not well recorded. So it's hard to say. Whenever Rebels first started out, it was very different from The Accuser. Now Rebels have become a little more in that groove-oriented feel. But that's what Accuser is. I'd say it's like Clutch, groove groove metal, not quite metal. It's got some southern rock to it. Yeah. I actually feel like I get to sing more. With the Rebels, I have a very it's like barky, gruff voice. With the Accuser, we're half-step down tuning, and there's some more melodic stuff happening sometimes, so I get to sing a little more.
I was gonna say it earlier, and I forgot to, but y'all sound like Clutch, but if they were like a heavy metal band.
Yeah, so
like are they one of your influences?
Oh yeah, I think all of us love Clutch. I don't know if we've ever we never set out to just sound like Clutch, but you can't deny they're very energetic and awesome songwriters and
bunch of lumberjacks who just make great fucking music.
So we played at Suck Bang Blow in Myrtle Beach a couple months ago, and we reached back out to them because Clutch is coming, and we were like, that would be perfect for us. And Suck Bang Blow was like, we don't think y'all are quite the type of band we're looking for here. And we're like, yeah, but we would match perfectly with Clutch. I don't know why they didn't like us. It's probably because literally nobody was there, but we had never played in Myrtle Beach before, so it's not like we have fans there yet.
Man, that'd be so cool to fucking play, open up for Clutch.
Yes.
I remember the first time I heard Clutch was Viva La Bam, and they were the opening, they did the opening song.
That's awesome.
And then I've just been in love with them ever since.
I can't remember any of their music, but I liked them when I was a kid because my dad had the CD. I don't know which fucking album it was. It was the one with the little goat dude on a mountain.
Yeah, I can't think of
That's the one we used to listen to all the time, but I liked them when I was a kid.
Favorite Clutch song for me is Worm Drink. I like that song a lot. Check that one out.
I
can't remember any.
Yeah, I can't recommend Clutch enough. So I guess to end on, do you have any bands either locally or just in general that you'd like to recommend or any songs?
Dude, the Greenville music scene is on fire. It doesn't matter the genre. Literally, there's something in the water around here. I'm friends with a lot of people from a lot of different genres. It is amazing what's coming out of Greenville right now, so pay attention to the local scene for one. As far as what I'm listening to right now, I'm super into Zeal and Ardor. That band is magnificent. I've always loved Mastodon. I'm into them. About to see those two bands together.
All right.
In Atlanta at a new venue. I think it's called the Eastern maybe, and it's a block away from where my best friend lives, so I'm going to stay there, and we're going to walk to the show.
Oh, hell yeah. You can get as fucked up as you want. It's Atlanta. There's no rules.
Yeah, no rules, just right. And then, I've got a lot of favorite bands. I don't even know who to talk about right now. But just pay attention to the local scene. You got to start somewhere. If you don't help us get big, there won't be any new music. It'll be all the old, know.
That's what this whole podcast is about, is just promoting local Greenville stuff. Well, South Carolina and North Carolina, I guess, in general, but specifically Greenville, because that's where we all live right now.
I want to literally sit here and name all of my favorites or all my friends that are in local bands, but I will miss people, and I'm not even going to start. So just know that it is an amazing scene, and you should really check out anything that's around.
It's always growing. It's always on the come up.
Is there a Facebook group yet for all the local musicians and stuff?
I feel like at some point there was a website that listed them all, and I know Wes Gilliam at the Radio Room has some playlists he's put together on Spotify with just local fire, everybody that's putting out stuff. And then, we got the Upstate Music Awards now. Bands are getting recognized for what they do and the work that they're putting into it. So it's nice to have people paying attention.
That's awesome. I love it. That's going on. That's been happening.
I guess I should shout out Randomonium, who's a local band. They really only do covers. But
I love Heidi.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I want to talk about was Heidi. When me and Phillips first started Vital Wave, we went and saw Randomonium. And we were just talking to her and shooting the shit, and she was giving us all this great advice and things we should be doing, starting out and stuff.
Yeah, they're killing it. They have this ability to morph and change their band name and be whatever they need to be.
They have 3 or 4 different bands.
That's cool to me. I've talked to Heidi a little bit about if I ever show up at one of their shows, I would love to sing with her. It would be awesome. Yeah, she's come to see us play before.
They're probably the biggest band in Greenville right now.
Yeah,
that isn't touring at least.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many really good ones, and but I'd say they're the busiest for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. They're because my mom tried to book them for a house party, one time, and she was like, "Look, we're booked through halfway through 2022 right now. It's insane.
It's crazy."
Shout out Quality Time. They're one of my favorites. Probably, one of my favorite local bands. They just released a music video. Go check it out.
As always, shout out Vital Wave, hometown, Carolina Bleeds.
Carolina Bleeds.
Please, somebody listen to this podcast. Yeah. Please.
This was cool. I was actually concerned that I wouldn't know how to talk for an hour, but
yeah, dude. Well, us too, dude. You're our first guest, really. our first scheduled out.
Phillips and Andy. Who just happened to be here on the day, pretty much.
Yeah.
At least we had prep this time. This is the first time we've had prep going into one of these.
Awesome.
But I mean, eventually one day if we have enough mics and a little bit of a bigger space, if the other guys want to come on, you are more than welcome. We'd love to do like a full band thing.
We don't occupy a lot of space. We can all stack on top of each other if we have to.
We'll just turn the mic on the MacBook and we can all just talk into that.
Yeah. But I think that'd be really cool. So they all want to come through.
We'd be down. I'm glad
you guys are always
Thank
welcome.
Y'all.
This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming out.
Definitely.
Yeah, appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Mason, you got any songs to suggest to our audience?
I was listening to a lot of Can't Swim this morning. That's a good band.
Name one song.
Fuck. You got me. But no, I just put them on shuffle on Spotify. They like all the usual stuff I always recommend. Stan Atlantic. Do
you have an all-time favorite band?
All-time favorite band probably has to be A Day to Remember. Just because I got the A Day to Remember Homesick tattoo.
Right.
Like once it's on there, it's on there.
Yep.
I have two bands tied for first. One's Blink-182 and the other one is Hawthorne Heights, and I also have a tattoo.
Cool. Who would have thought Hawthorne Heights would be making an appearance this episode?
My all-time favorite is the Mars Volta. I do have, it's not exactly like, they had a live album that had Arachne, which is the spider goddess, as their logo on that, and it doesn't look like that, but that's why I have it. Cool. They're my all-time favorite.
Well, I have a couple songs to recommend. The Ponytail Parades by Emery and Backseat Driver by Black River Rebels. Check it out. Oh yeah.
But for real though, like everyone check out this new album. It's dope.
It's good.
We can cut this out if not, but if we have permission, we'll probably put like a snippet of one of the songs.
You have all the permission. Play us wherever you want to play us.
Cool. If we can figure out how to do it, then we'll do it.
I can do it. Cool.
Like, yeah, this new album is fucking killer. Like,
thank you so much.
I started listening to it so I could like talk about the album when you came on. Then I just found myself. I just kept coming back to it. Like,
if you find yourself wanting to know what the hell it is I'm saying, I do have all the lyrics I can send over email. Like I literally have them all together.
I'll end up buying the vinyl. You said you're putting the vinyl up for sale.
Yeah, it's not. We have as soon as Granger's done with the album art, which he's very close to being finished. It'll be a matter of printing and all that stuff. Who knows? It might be next year before the vinyl and the CD come out. But if you want them in the meantime. I'm happy to send my lyrics to anybody that's interested. I've done it. I'll do it.
Well, yeah, go ahead and send it to Coley then, so I can have it. But I will definitely be buying
I'd like
the vinyl.
To see him too.
I'm thinking about sticking some vinyls on the wall, and that'd be a great first one.
I'll definitely get the CD. Is the artwork for the CD and vinyl going to be a little different?
So the cover art is the same.
Okay.
So we already had our buddy Granger working on something, and then his father passed away, who's Mike Granger. He was Elberon Amplifiers. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. They make really killer
Mike Granger,
pedals.
that name does sound familiar.
Yeah. So COVID, that bullshit. So him dealing with that, he drew this amazing thing, and it's the album cover. And we hit him up and was like, I know you already worked on this other thing for a couple months, but dude, there's so much feeling in it. We love it. Would you be cool with us using it? And he was like, oh, definitely, And I know the piece meant a lot to him, so it's probably cool for him to see it being used for something like this.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Well, yeah. So thank you so much again.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I'll be definitely going downtown after this to go get some brewskis. I don't know what everyone else is going into.
I have to go to bed.
Probably cut all this out, actually. But, no, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank y'all.
It's been so much
fun. Awesome.
Oh, yeah, fuck Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I agree.
Chili Peppers.
Except for John Frusciante. Actually, you know what? The band's awesome. It's Anthony Kiedis that can go the fuck away from me.
Fuck Flea.
The band's awesome, but
fuck Flea for writing such
Kiedis
intricate bass lines, and then fuck you for loving them so much that I have to cover them.
Oh, you got to learn these things, huh?
Yeah.
I see what's happening here.
I liked them until I had to play.
Hey, Frusciante's back though. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Phillips. So May 6th is when their new album comes out. That's my birthday. So, and then
May 2nd, baby.
Yeah, it's be my 25th birthday, so it's not gonna be a great one. Getting old. And I stand by that, and I'll say it every week. This next album that comes out will either be the best album they do or the worst album they do. I'm leaning towards the worst.
All right, are we going to end this thing?
Yeah.
All right.
So everyone have a good night. Stay bloody. I think that's our catchphrase now.
Fucking peace.
Check out local bands.
Love you.